Andalusia, Spain's second worst for unemployment, a hotbed for poverty and a home to the marvels of the country's culture. It's here that you'll find the best that Spain has to offer in a dense concentration, and it is also here where you'll indulge yourself in some lovely time at the beach. And it's also here where a now abandoned tram line was built just before the 2008 crisis.
And since it seems that I have forgotten to mention it, this is an exceptional example of a waste of public money. Since this is not a tram line, but a parking spot for the citizens of the city, and this tram line has been replaced since 2012 by a running bus line. And that bus line is serving perfectly fine. So as you can see, great investment right here.
Vélez-Málaga is a small city located 30 minutes away from one of the region's biggest gems, Malaga. With a population of roughly 80,000 people, it does not seem like an obvious choice for a tram network, but such was dreamt up by the PSOE, the Socialist Workers' Party of Spain, mayors of the city, who were in charge here since 1999. Construction began in 2003 under Antonio Soberón Rodriguez and took 3 years to build, with around 5 kilometers of the line being constructed at the cost of 22 million euros. Oddly enough, the center of the city was omitted at the time, and a second phase of 1,300 meters was added at the cost of 8 million euros, though it was never put into service at all. At this time, the center-right Partido Popular Party mayor, Francisco Delgado Bonilla, took office, and it is at this point that the fate of the line was most likely sealed. The new mayor, replaced after a year once again by a socialist candidate, opposed the tram network, dubbing it a socialist waste of money. Meanwhile, ridership dropped by nearly 30% between 2007 and 2011. To add insult to injury, the track safety record of the Vélez-Málaga tram was atrocious. 30 incidents involving collisions with traffic were recorded just during the first year of operation, with a very serious accident occurring in 2009. It was then that one of the trams went on a rampage, going past the terminus into the unopened section, barraging for cars that were parked in its way due to a brake failure. If it wasn't for a truck parked in its way, the results would have probably been way more adverse than 2 injuries amongst the passengers and a cab driver. In 2011, Francisco Delgado Bonilla, the very same man from Partido Popular, once again became the mayor of Vélez-Málaga. His approach towards the tram line was already clear at this point. After all of this, the service was halted indefinitely in June of 2012. The trams were put into storage, requiring maintenance from this point on, despite not serving any real purpose.
So this line had all the potential to be successful. It was built using modern standards, it was built using modern technologies. It had the modern trams, the urbex 2 series, which are also a funny thing because the trams, up until recently, functioned as normal trams in Sydney, in Australia. They've been leased to the company that runs the transport in that city because they were completely useless sitting here in Vélez.
Since 2015, the city is back in the hands of the Socialist Party, with Antonio Moreno Ferrer clearly attempting to drive the reopening plans forward. A tender was drafted in 2019 to find a company that would re-establish the line and bring it back to working order, but to no avail. This year, in 2020, 2 million euros were budgeted for this very same task, and according to the mayor, it will all work out this time around. Whether or not this endless political debacle over this line between the socialists and the center-rights will end this year is yet to be seen, but given the current economic situation, it's becoming less and less likely with each and every day. This tram is indeed shaping up to be the little engine that just couldn't.
So when you are talking about this line and about a tramway system in a city the size of Vélez-Málaga, you have to ask a different question. Was it really necessary to build a tram line in the middle of nowhere in a small city in the suburbs of a bigger one without connecting them? And also building this line was an issue as well because they didn't connect the rest of the city of Vélez-Málaga. They had to build an extension that was never used because the city council refused funding. So as you see, this was a mess, and that's why it's abandoned today. And maybe it will be reinstalled as a nice tramway line soon, but only time will tell. Right now it doesn't look like it, at least with the weeds and, lack of any salidas from this parada.
The footage on your screen is from 2019, demonstrating the state of decay in which the line was at the time. Until the halting of construction, 5.2 kilometers of the line were constructed.